loads. Dr. Buford, I'm here with Lindsay Super Toes. And the rest of the shoulder team. We're just getting started on the right shoulder. We're looking at it from the back to the front. Everything you see is magnified 30 or 40 times on the screen. I'll need a grasp right now. Right now we're passing a needle through the biceps tendon because it's torn. So you see that needle to the left there? Yeah, that's going through a torn biceps tendon. So we're going to try and save that. Take a grasper. Back the needle out now. And now we're going to load that with a stitch. And then in a second we'll take the spinal needle one more time. So as we pull back, that's going to bring that white suture back through. And then we'll take the spinal needle and pass it one more time here. See if I can get into a little bit more of the biceps. That looks pretty good there. So we'll go ahead and feed that. And once you get a bunch of this in, we'll go ahead and grab it with a grasper. Okay, so we're just going to grab the wire here, excuse me, we'll back the needle out, and now we're going to sneak on the other side of the biceps, right here. You can see how it's almost completely torn there. And we're going to grab this wire. Show you some more in just a minute. Pause, please. Okay, we've released the biceps. Now we're just cleaning up this structure called the labrum. See how things look a little bit cleaner in here now. As far as the rotator cuff tear, this is the hole in the rotator cuff right here. You see the yellow bone? There should be tendon attached to that. Pull back a little bit. Yeah. So where my shaver is, that's the hole in the tendon. That shouldn't be there. It'll be easier to see once you change positions with your shoulder, but for now we're going to look down the front. Don't see much else to worry about. Not a lot of arthritis, so that's good. Pull back a little bit. Okay, now we'll look down the posterior aspect. And again, not a lot of arthritis on the humeral head. That's pretty good. Come on back. So I think the next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and get to work taking off any bone spurs and finally getting started on fixing the rotator cuff. But I think we're pretty much done inside the joint, okay? So we'll go off on the video. Okay, so here you can see the hole in the tendon. What's our systolic at? I know it's just taking it. Okay, strong. So here's our spinal needle coming down. This is the hole in the tendon. As I lift up, that's looking down into the joint, which we normally should not be able to see. This yellow is the bone where the tendon should be attached. Look back here a little bit, it's short. So you see this is normal back here, but then as we come right here, here's where the hole is. So we're going to make a little nick in the skin, and then we're going to take an instrument called the punch and make a little starter hole in the bone for the suture anchor that we're going to use. So here's the punch coming down. We're going to make this about 6 or 7 millimeters back from the articular edge, just like that. So there's a little hole in the bone. And now we're going to use a metal suture anchor. It's made out of titanium. And it has 3 sutures through the eyelet. So there's the anchor. We're going to start that in the same hole. And just take this all the way down into the bone until that black line disappears. And then we'll leave it facing the torn edge of the cuff like that. Okay, so now we'll back it out. There's 3 sutures. We'll go ahead and take a straight crescent suture hook in a minute, but first we're going to spread these 3 colored sutures apart so we can decide what order we're going to use them in. And as we look down here, it looks like we're going to go with the blue one, and then the black one, and then the white one. So we're going to start in that fashion here. Here's the blue one. We'll bring this out the front first. We're going to make sure we don't unload the suture anchor. Oh, the blue one's on the closer side from the back. See? So it'll slip over. So now we're going to go ahead and take an instrument called a suture hook. You'll see this coming in on the left side of the screen. Here it is here. It's loaded with that same black wire that we used for the biceps tendon. Here it is there, that super shuttle. Now we're going to reach in under here and see, there's the edge of the cuff. I'll make sure we get the deep portion of it. There we go there, we'll pull back. And there we are coming all the way underneath. So we'll go ahead and retrieve the relay. And then outside your shoulder we're going to load the relay with that blue and white suture. And then as we slowly pull back, we use a turn to the right next. As we slowly pull back, you'll see how it brings that suture up there. Now I'm going to reach in and get the partner of blue and white suture, like this. We're also going to reach in and take one of the black and white striped sutures out the back at this time. So we'll take this one this way. And then we'll take the other black and white suture out the front. So that's going to come this way. And now we're ready to make our second pass. This time we have a slightly different suture hook. This is what we call a turn to the right suture hook. There it is there. We're going to grab the cuff here and reduce. We want it to sit, so pull back. So we want to close up that hole just like that. And so we'll start here, and we'll come back. And there we are going underneath. That looks good. Okay. Use it straight for next. So we'll pull back, and that's going to bring that black and white one through. Like that. Okay, we're good. Oh, no, we're good. Okay, so now we're going to take out the last white suture. There's our cannula coming back in. We'll reach in and take out this white suture right here. You can see how just to stitch this one part up is going to take us about 3 or 4 minutes, not a very long time. But then we still have to tie the sutures. Here's our little helping hand here. We'll reach up, make sure we're going to get that reduced like that. Up. So we'll take this down right about here. now what we've done is we've passed all 3 sutures. We're going to reach in now and retrieve all the sutures in this blue cannula. So here's the other white one. And then we've got the black and the blue and white stripe right here. There's the other black and white stripe, and then come around. Oh, there's the other blue and white stripe right there. And now I think we've got them all. Now we can get that last black and white stripe in right here. Okay, so now we've got them all coming up to the right. We'll reach in and tie them one at a time now from left to right. So we're going to get the blue and white one first. We go through this extra step because the sutures have to be inside the cannula one at a time to tie them so we don't get any twists. So now you can see we've got this blue and white suture all by itself inside the cannula. So that's the way it needs to look. Go ahead and make sure there's no twists in the suture by using that little pincher tool instrument, we call it. And we do that just by looping around here like that. Pull back and make sure there's no twists. And the next step is to go ahead and tie a knot. So this is a special kind of knot. We call it an SMC knot. It stands for Samsung Medical Center. It's a sliding knot that locks. We slide it down. See how that snugs it down very nicely? Okay, and then we just complete the knot by passing multiple half hitches on the post. And then we can even switch posts to make sure that this knot is secure. One more half hitch and then we'll cut the suture tails. Now the instrument that we use to cut is called a katana. It's a real specialized instrument. It allows us to cut the suture tails at a predetermined length, just like that, and that looks really good. So now we'll go ahead and tie the next suture, which is the black and white striped suture here. Okay, so now you can see we've got the black and white one inside. We will check to make sure there's no twists in the suture line, like we showed you before, just by doing that. And then we'll tie another knot. We'll show you some more in a minute. Pause, please. Forward. Okay, so we've got all 3 sutures tied for the cup repair. As we rotate, you can see how good that looks. Very happy with that. Now we're going to get the sutures for the biceps tendon and we'll tie those. We'll show you that in just a minute. Pause, please. Okay, so we're all done here. That's the final half hitch for the knot that's securing the biceps. We're going to cut that and then we'll be finished. So that looks really good. So skin to skin, we're right at 40 minutes. That's not a bad time to get things repaired for you. Not too much anesthesia and not too much swelling. So we're going to get you back to the recovery room here in just a few minutes, okay? Good luck to you now. Bye-bye.